I am now unmuted.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to our very first live Twitch. What shall we call it? Performance channel. I don't even. Greetings, Jake Doom. Hello.
Let's call it the announcement
The
of our PlayUp
announcement, the
Legends.
DM Talk spoilers is the episode today. And before we start anything, we just have to go through a couple of courtesies, so to speak. So let's go and get straight into it, yeah? So first and foremost, you can definitely support PlayUp through Facebook, Instagram. We also have a TikTok. We have nothing really published there, but yeah, we'll soon be having something there. Directly, you can support us financially if you like what we do through Patreon. So basically, you just go ahead and find PlayUp Malta. In regards to Patreon, sorry, you can find us as PlayUp MT. All the links are in the Twitch channel part in the About Us. Also, we have a Discord for you guys who haven't joined us. We also have a Discord. You can find it through our Facebook page. We also have sponsors, as you can see in the bottom left corner. Specifically, we have Warmonger Games Malta. As you can see here, this is a website where you can locally buy your hobbies, whatever it is, board games, RPGs. And for the show, they're giving out a 10% discount code for all RPG products, be it Pathfinder, D&D and stuff. The code is PUL, so like pull DN7401. You might want to take this down. The TNCs he gave us is that this code only works with a purchase of 30 plus. I don't think that's really a problem because most of the D&D stuff is actually above 30 euros. I'm just looking at one of the books here. It's like 48 euros, so you get a discount on that. Can only
Most
be
of them.
yeah, exactly. So most of them you can get with the discount code. Anything that is already pre-discounted does not count with this code. It's only for local use, so Malta only, and it expires on the 7th of February this year. Moving on to our second sponsor, JP. You want to take this?
Yes, thank you. We also have the Miniature Corner Studio, who have graciously sponsored us. They are a studio that mainly focuses on printing 3D miniatures and even doing custom paint jobs. They are currently a small studio, but as in time, I am very sure with your support, they will be growing up very well alongside us. They have granted us a very nice discount code, which is PlayUp21, spelled as it is, no space, no caps, no nothing. This is a 10% discount code of their merchandise. You can find them on Facebook, Miniature Corner Studio.
All right, then let's get straight into it. So basically, why are we here? This is the first announcement that we're finally brushing up on PlayUp League, which is going to be officially called PlayUp Legends from here on forward for podcast purposes. So, gracefully, my Dungeon Masters here, let me introduce you guys. So I'm Don. Over here we have Paul, which is also known as Z. And we have the Wanderer on this side, who is JP, Jean-Pierre.
Hello,
And
everyone.
we are your three Dungeon Masters for these sessions to come. In relation to the backstories, the lore, the world, Paul had dived straight into it headfirst when he kind of contacted me saying, listen, dude, I'm really interested. Let me just help you out. And all of a sudden, I just find most of my work done for me. So, yeah, go ahead, Paul.
Right, okay, sure. So, guys, you are going to be playing in, as we've said before, a homebrew setting. Is my audio okay, by the way?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it is.
Cool. Fantastic. So you're going to be playing in a homebrew setting that we've created. I am just going to tab away from that screen because I'm getting distracted by looking at myself moving around. And I move around a lot. A homebrew setting that we've created that takes aspects of Eberron, of the Forgotten Realms, Faerun. There are a lot of different things that we've sort of combined together to create our own special place for you heroes to adventure in. The name of our lovely new setting is the New World. If you'd mind, I'm going to take you on a small tour of the New World and what it entails. You don't need to take any notes, by the way. Of course, we will refresh things, be giving you guys more information as we move along, but this is just an overview of what you guys should be expecting from the New World. True age of the New World is pretty much unknown, with the oldest records dating back to the arrival of the first settlers over 5,000 years ago. Calendar of New World makes this marks this point as year zero AS after settling, and anything before is referred to as BS before settling. The cluster of land masses that make up the geography of the New World were home before the settling to several native species, some of which you may know and some which may be new to you. Some of these are sentient races and other are feral creatures. Though in this time there are few records that exist of this old settlement that is lost to the mists of time, the combined chronicles of many of the major sentient races allow us to piece together that the first settlers that arrived in the New World included humans, dwarves, elves, dragonborn, gnomes, and some of the smaller collections of races. There were, of course, other intelligent creatures, other intelligent races that were native to the New World. These include tabaxi, furbogs, some goblinoid races, and others that at the time of the settlers' arrival were considered to be more primitive races who had not advanced very much in terms of technology. Something that might be interesting for the clerics and the paladins out there, at some point, still not completely known in the past, powerful celestial creatures who were called the Awakened by the elves and gods by the humans were also marked for their presence within the New World. Under the guidance of their gods, around 600 AS, the humans began to expand outwards across the New World, thus becoming the dominant species in the New World and conquering several lands across this large continent, whose map we very much wanted to show you, and I have done 3 drafts of this till now, and I still don't have the final draft because my brain says no every single time, but you will have a map eventually. A little bit about the geography. We have one large part of this continent that we are calling the Kinglands. Now, the Kinglands are basically, let me just check my notes. There we go. The Kinglands are a larger part of the entirety of the New World. They consist of several human capitals and cities that stretch out on the northern region with a large forest below it. One of the cities that few of you are familiar with, the city of Aegis, a city built on blue stone that was taken from the frozen peaks of Talduna, which I believe is familiar to one of you in particular. The city of Aegis is also well known for its massive harbor that houses the Royal Aegis Navy. The borders of the Kinglands are marked by the mountain range of the Elden Reaches, which separated the nation from the Green Valley further to the east. South of the city of Aegis, you can find Dawnhaven. Dawnhaven is located about 2 days' ride north from the gates of Aegis, one of the first large towns that were established during the human colonization of Kinglands. This town has remained an important and thriving civilization due to its bountiful harvests, which are partially traded and exported to the city of Aegis. And due to its location and close proximity to nature, the town of Dawnhaven has always been well known for its fantastic agriculture, helped along by many talented herbalists, apothecaries, and druids. The cobblestone streets that crisscross Dawnhaven are built around strong stone buildings and are guarded by high stone walls. We have many traders and merchants that come from far and wide to attend the weekly marketplace where wares from across the kinglands can be found and the ripest and most nourishing vegetables and produce can be obtained. The deep woods, which can be found to the west of the town, are also rumored to be populated by creatures of the Fae, and residents of Dawnhaven know better than to go exploring in these woods alone. Now, if we move for a moment, sure which direction you guys are seeing, but I'm pointing to my right over here. If we move to the east of the continent of New World, past the mountains, the mountain range of the Elden Reach, we also find the Green Valley. The Green Valley is pretty cool. Due to the geographical inconvenience of crossing the Elden Reaches, the Green Valley remained a mostly uncharted land during the human expansion of the New World. An enormous valley covered by tall trees called Rin trees and bordered on one side by the Elden Reaches to the west, and to the other side by the Red Horn Mountains. Separated as it was from the mainland itself due to the Eldine Mountains, the Green Valley became mostly home to dwarves who had come across with the new settlers and wanted to establish homes for themselves, as well as some smaller human colonies who didn't wish to partake in the great human expansion and instead found simpler lives living separated from human hierarchy. Within the center of the Green Valley, you guys will find the Pikes, which are a cluster of towns and villages. Each of them, of course, carries its own name, but the scattering of smaller civilizations bears similar choices in architecture. Most settlements are little more than wooden houses, stone huts, all of them surrounded by the tall rin trees that are so popular in the valley. There are quite a few more other cities scattered around the Green Valley, and of course, much, much more to explore and to find out about within the Kingslands, which is the main part of the New World. But I think for now, that should be enough about the geography of the place. As you guys know, because we've guided you, you're familiar with quite a few of the races that you can find within the New World, most of them from the player's handbook, as you know. And we have also decided to, for the sake of group agency, create factions, which I think Don is prepared to show on the
Yeah,
screen at
let's go
some
ahead and
point.
show them the different guilds and
Okay,
factions here. So the one that you're
right.
seeing, okay, so basically this is automated. It's gonna start turning from page to page. There's 4, 8, there's 12 different factions, guilds that we have created here. These are their sigils slash logos that you're seeing on the screen. So we haven't really named them as yet. We've just designed them through what we know about your backstories, what we've created from our stories. So there's a big mixture here between the guilds, the factions. They have different agendas. Some are for the better good, which is ideally what you're gonna try to fall under. The others not so much. I think everyone saw all of the guilds at this point.
Yeah, I think we can go ahead and say though that none of these at the moment are set in stone, guys. But we just want to show you what we've been working on and what we're planning. Excuse me, planning to do.
Essentially we just made these somewhat on the fly, but at the same time we planned them prior ahead. So that way, even the players, if they want to put one of those banners that we made on their character sheet and represent the faction that they joined, they very well can.
Obviously, this information will be given
Now,
further on, yeah?
Exactly. Mm.
yes. Now, of course, how do you figure out what faction you're in and all of that? Like I said, for the sake of player agency and for the sake of group agency as well, we've decided that each of the groups that are being assigned to different DMs will be assigned under a particular faction. The factions are obviously being homebrewed and created specifically so that we make sure they cater to the ideals, the personality traits, the choices, the backstory of every single person within that group to make it make sense. Like, let's say, for example, if you're a nature-loving druid, we wouldn't want to put you in a faction that enjoys
Technology.
sacrificing bats to technology. Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. So of course it makes sense. We want it to make sense for you guys, and we want to be able to give you guys reasons to want to like the faction. Of
Oh,
course,
oh
that's kind
God.
of our main objective.
You just gave me a thought. Imagine one of our players just accidentally joins a demon worshipping cult and not realize it until the very last minute.
As they're on the altar and they have the blood sacrifice in front of them. And
Like,
like,
oh, this decor is really nice. A bit dark, but it's nice. And they just see the sacrificial dagger on the lab in front of them. Like, oh no.
We're giving bad ideas to players. Let's
Oh, no. Don't believe me. They will come up with worse ideas.
Okay, so basically, thank you, Paul, for such an amazing like introduction to the world. This is general knowledge to the players slash their characters, so everyone has.
yes, I did forget to mention that. Yes.
So this is not like something that you have to take down because it matters per se, but it will definitely influence the general knowledge for you guys. We are going to homebrew a lot of this, as we said. So basically,
Pretty much all of it. I mean,
yeah. So
I would say 95% of what we have is completely
we're
homebrewed.
coming to the end of the month. I mean, we started planning this like beginning first week of January, give or take. Yeah. So just about, and we've been changing ideas, and we're not giving away the arch story, obviously. That is something for everyone to find out. That is the whole thing. As promised, we are going to join each session, so each dungeon master, each group, whatever happens in their sessions, we dungeon masters are going to come back and we're going to kind of reflect on it and say, okay, how is this going to happen in the arch story? How does this influence things, and so forth. The guys in the chat, by the way, I don't know if you guys can see, are having way too much fun with the
Yeah, yeah,
sacrifice idea.
I have no.
yeah.
I haven't figured out how to see the Twitch chat. Like, I have the Twitch screen in
That's
front of me,
okay.
but I have no
Like-
idea how to get to the chat. Can someone
I'm
help
just
me
gonna say
here?
this. I'm just gonna quickly say this. The chat is going on along around the whole sacrificing thing. We have worse things planned, probably.
Yep,
Um,
definitely.
especially due to a certain person who mentioned a very, very scary creature. And I'm just gonna stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right, Paul?
Oh, right. I know what you're talking about now. I still
Mhm.
can't find the chat. Oh, that's how you do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get straight
No,
into
but
it.
there's only one person who's.
Oh no, because
Oh,
you're
wait,
catching
is-
up
is-
now.
is this going-
Yeah, you're catching up with what's
Oh,
being
so I
said.
can't see anything from before. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So
Paul is
let's
going to pull out the ex-wife.
Ba-dum-tsh.
Ex-wife?
Where did
You
you
guys
go?
want to see ex-wife?
Oh, no. Oh,
He's
no.
still here.
Oh no.
So yeah, basically, that's kind of the incorporation we're going with. You come to me at the time of need, says the dungeon master. No. All right, so getting back on track, guys. You made me lose my train of thought. Oh, there we are. Okay, so dungeon mastering, our styles, and what kind of to expect from the unexpected that we're going to throw from you. I'm going to start myself and say that basically, as a dungeon master, I am pretty much a theater of the mind. I am currently working on the map and the the visuals, so to speak, to aid you guys, but most of it is theater of the mind. So basically, I'm going to describe sceneries. I'm going to ask you guys, like, okay, what do you do in this case? You ask your questions just to get a better idea how this, the surroundings are. So that's for sure my dungeon mastering size. I do work with what I planned, but I'm not strict to it, just in case you guys throw me a freaking curveball, like every player loves to do. So I can work pretty much on the fly as well.
Like starting your session, their party is supposed to leave the tavern, but they decide to spend 10 freaking sessions in the same tavern
Yeah, so
that they
basically,
started it.
theater of the mind is basically
What type of tavern is this?
descriptive wordings. It's like listening to an audiobook instead of reading, you know? It's like when you're reading a book, you don't really. I mean, come on. I don't need to explain this to you guys, do I? JP, your dungeon mastering style. Give your background on experience as well, maybe?
I've been a DM for the past maybe 3-4 years, give or take. Um, Mostly for me, it's a combination of theater of the mind and visuals. I like to present my players with like a map of things, like for a town or something, if it's possible. However, I am not going to be completely stuck by it because, like you said, Dom, if one of the players throw me a curveball or a freaking monkey wrench, I won't be able to plan for that. However, I do when it comes to, for example, stuff like combat, I do like to be a bit prepared for that and have like a simple map sheet ready, and I'll just simply live screen it if need be to show that to players because I can understand that combat is an part of D&D and it can get a bit confusing, so a live track system would probably benefit for everyone.
Cool.
But yeah. And most importantly, and this is my very favorite cherry on the cake, ambience music. It helps
Ooh,
set the mood.
yes.
It helps set the mood.
I'm just gonna say from now, just as play up, because we're gonna be publishing this, and even if someone does go live with it, use non. Um,
Non-copyrighted music, yes.
exactly. There you go. You took it from me.
Like obviously we don't want to get sued. We don't want to get our ROs completely cut for obvious reasons. Uh, we're gonna stick with non-copyrighted music. Mind you, there's a lot to use nowadays. Thankfully.
So the
So
way it's
much.
going to work before I head over to Paul, because we have a question really quick. Streaming wise, I don't think we're gonna live stream. I'm gonna be specific on that.
No.
It's at the DM's discretion. I might live stream it. I might not. Whatever really, I mean, what we're really gonna do is record the sessions and then publish them on YouTube, Spotify, Patreon, and other medias just for you to catch up and listen in on the adventures. So that is a definite yes. Live streaming is a big question mark. Probably no is the bigger answer towards what we're leaning at. But yeah, definitely you can definitely listen in, watch in later. Paul, jumping straight to you, Ben. Tell me about your dungeon mastering style.
I'll tell you, you know all about it, but I will tell these lovely people. Uh,
Yes, tell our 20.
I am probably actually 20. There are 20 people here. I still don't know how to check this on Twitch. Anyway, I'm probably the least experienced then out of the three DMs. I've been dungeon mastering, I think, for about 2 to 3 years. My players will probably be able to correct me, but about 2 to 3 years. My dungeon mastering style, right? Well, like Dom, I really love and enjoy theater of the mind, and I try as much as possible to keep it within that realm. I will be providing some sort of maps for you guys to some sort of battle maps or something for you guys to be able to play with. We're still talking about and considering whether or not to use Roll20 or something else like that. That's still up in the air, but there will be something just for you guys. Just say, okay, my character's here and the enemy's over there, and I want to move like this. So I know that helps from a player perspective. However, I will be keeping it mostly theater of the mind. I like to go in for the big cinematic stuff. I like to give elaborate descriptions. I like to make sure that my players know when they step into a room what the room is like, what it's decorated like, what they might hope to find inside the room. I think I'm a pretty laid back DM in general. I also love to allow players to just role play in a tavern for 10 sessions, like JP said. That's not a problem whatsoever.
Okay.
However, if we need to move the plot along, I'll just find a way in order to do that.
Cool.
And yeah, I think that's pretty much my DMing
I
style.
think I
I
think
like
we
to
can
have fun.
agree. I think we can agree, Paul, that and JP. I mean, if we're going to have rare combat encounters, at least I know I try to avoid them as much as I can unless they're really necessary.
Unless the
I
players attack
I
or
would
anything.
oh yes, definitely. I would definitely reward XP for other reasons. So whether they're playing their character right, role playing, I don't know. It is definitely something I have to put in since we are moving with XP and not with what was the other one? The one that we don't like.
Milestone.
Milestones. No to
Milestone.
milestones. Never
Bad.
milestones.
Horrible things, milestones.
So the biggest question
No
everyone's
one
kind of
wants that.
holding on edge is like, listen, we want to know who's our dungeon master, we want to know our group. I'm going to show you guys who you're with. Before I do, I want you guys to keep in mind we done it according to your availabilities. So basically, common availabilities were gathered together and separated. Because we have so many players already registered and we had to close the registration at the cap that it is, we have Paul dungeon mastering for 2 groups, simply because he has more free time than any of us. So, without further ado,
Yeah.
these are the groups. In Group 1, under Paul, we have Captain Gecko, Magic Man, Siggy, Hammer Time, Jake Doom. By the way, these are the names on their Discord. We're not giving out actual names. In Group 2, we have JP with
Unless your
Fireline.
actual name is your hand.
Yeah, unless exactly, which is very rare to find. Group 2, we have under JP Firelion, Runako, Nikral, Tornex, and Rexter.
No,
Group
it's
3,
Rextor.
Rextor, sorry. I'm sorry.
Rextor, there's no T.
I'm really sorry for pronunciation sometimes. Okay, so going on to Group 3, which is my group, I have Tlomax, Estlem. You couldn't find an easier handler name, I'm swear. Dan Hill and
It's Maltese backwards.
okay. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that's okay. And Nemsha. And Paul's second group, which is group 4, it is Puns, Shami, Semaya Moloch, and Mirfar. These are your groups, guys. And basically, something that we kind of want to discuss about the groups is we're going to avoid crossovers completely. I know that we said there might be a chance, but seeing that we have your availabilities, each dungeon master is going to be catering for those availabilities. And don't forget, this is going to be once a month, so there's more than enough flexibility.
And I think we should explain how we've planned to plan out the dates going forward.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead.
Well, oh, all right, sure. Well,
You-
basically, guys, I was like, say you want to do it, should I do it? Anyway, basically, guys, our main thing is, as much as possible, keeping you guys together within the same group. This is what we want to do. We want to make sure that you all get to experience the stories as they unfold, and that you guys get to interact every single session. Because it's an only once a month session, of course, it'll really, really suck for you guys if you miss out on that session. So what we've decided to do is this: ultimate flexibility. Now that you guys know which groups you're in, we're going to be creating, Donna's going to be doing some techno magic with the Discord thing to make private rooms where we can basically join up with our groups, and we're going to be planning out moving forward. Every single time we're going to be setting a date for our next session. We're going to be telling guys, listen, what are your availabilities? We'd
No.
obviously prefer to do them within the confines of the dates that you guys have set and propose, but we obviously are also very willing and flexible to move things around to try and accommodate everyone. That's kind of what we're going for, like accommodate as much as possible and just make sure we have everyone in the same group, in the same party, in the same session that day.
JP, can you take over for the chat going on?
Yeah, leave it to me.
Because apparently everyone wants you, man. What's going on?
I appreciate the love that everybody has
do
for
you
me,
have
but
cookies and we
please.
don't know about this? Come to the dark side. We have cookies.
Again, if anything, I'm sure not a problem, guys. Again, like our friend Don said, it all depends on availabilities, and we're gonna try and make sure that everyone gets catered. I am, for myself personally, gonna make sure that I'm gonna talk with each player separately, and that way, and have even like a Discord group or even a Facebook group if need be, so that way I can even coordinate a bit better. Reason for this is so that way we'll have a specific date. I'll set a specific date, and then like if something happens on that date, we're gonna make sure that we can have a workaround. But as soon as we set a specific date, do not come to me in like 3 days before and say, "Hey, listen, I can't come." Like I've said this a
Yeah,
month
of
prior.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like
I
you
Keep
have
in
a
mind we
legit,
are trying.
sorry. I think the
if
biggest issue right now that I'm seeing in the chat is people want to join or change groups, which I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna step up and say I want everyone to have fun. Especially who was it? I think it was Jake Doom who said, "Listen, I really want to join this group because I have two of my friends there or whatever." Listen, don't worry because you're in an experienced player. You're in good hands with the other dungeon master, especially you, Jake Doom. You're one of those lucky ones that has Paul. Not that I'm discrediting myself or JP, but Paul takes care of new players in a very particular tender way.
Ooh.
very, very
Throwing you at
interesting set
goblins.
of words.
Yes,
Very
the goblins.
interesting
Yes,
set
yes,
of
yes,
words
yes.
chosen. I'm just gonna say that. Um,
JP has sorry, not JP. Don has seen my goblin adventures. I think that's what he's referring to.
okay,
We
okay,
have your
okay.
availability, so we know exactly when you guys can. We actually selected, I think in groups, I think it's JP's group who has like the most flexible
Yeah, more or
availabilities.
less, more or less.
The others we kind of cater is like this, and we know that these guys can in the beginning of the week definitely, so we'll put them together and the rest on the weekend. I know for a fact Sundays are no. We're keeping them free. In my case, I think
For very good reason.
I have the weekend guys for the most part of the group. Let me just put the groups back up just to cater here. So basically, my group has all kind of said, listen, we really prefer weekends in some way or another. So it would be either a Friday or a Saturday in my case. But again, it's really due to flexibility more than anything. So I hope that answers the ongoing, like, can I change my group, please? No. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a pain, but we've worked so hard around this. I still have, hold on, let me just, these are your answers. I had to go through them, start piling up in groups, see which one makes sense with which. So I've spent a whole evening on that. So I'm not going to throw my hard work trying to situate this just now. No. But you guys will have fun. This is the most important thing. Actually, probably not playing with people you know might actually give you a better grasp of how role playing actually works. And at the same time, I guess it kind of allows you not to do certain shenanigans, which, your friends might think it's funny, but it might piss the DM off. And by the way,
Or
as
you might
dungeon,
learn new shenanigans.
or
I'm
yes,
I'm
in
just gonna
case,
say this. I'm just gonna say this really quick. People who have played with me, Rexor knows I am lenient, but if the session's taking too long, if you are screwing around too much, I am going to be mean.
well,
And
let's not scare the players off, shall we?
I'm just gonna say that. I don't know if some people in the group know about this, but I'm just gonna say this: anvils. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay. Um, right. So I'm just going through the chat really quick. Okay. So there is one thing that someone asked in relation to our sessions. Is there going to be a one big session in the end that joins all the players together?
Oh, someone asked that.
Yes. Paul, you
Should
want to
we say
take it? Paul, you take it.
Um, okay, so how do we answer that without answering that kind of thing? All right, okay. Let's put it this way. It is something that we've actually talked about and considered. I'm really glad that someone brought that up. It might be something that happens, but really and truly, a lot of the story is going to depend on you guys. We have crafted a beautiful and exciting world for you guys to explore in, with some very interesting plot lines and things that will take you from one terrain to another, from one encounter to another, and hopefully keep you engaged along the way. But ultimately, it's going to come down to you guys. It's kind of all I'm going to say on that. Yeah.
So it's a we want to look, the way that I want to answer this is it is something we want to work towards. It depends on each group and the players inside those groups if it will succeed. Because essentially, in my opinion, I don't think I want to throw all the players together. And I think and I think we have agreed kind of on this as dungeon masters. It's like,
Yeah,
listen,
yeah,
that
like
would be like, I mean, I handled 12 players in one session for
we
2
want to
years.
try to limit as much as the chaos that will
Dealing
ensue.
with what are we, 18,
Dealing
19
with
players?
about
No.
17 to like 18, 19 players at once, and we're only 3 dungeon masters, is not a fun time.
But maybe.
So we might actually do a session all on the same day that might influence each other. I'm just going to give that. That is a possibility. So that would be crazy. But yeah, the, you guys have to keep everything in mind, what you're doing, what's going on, how fast tracked you're going to get your one shots. And I use one shot loosely, right? Because they're not really one shots per se.
No, we have to stop calling them that. We agreed we wouldn't call them that.
We
It's
haven't
too
found
confusing. No.
we haven't found a word
It's too
for it.
confusing.
Look,
Story
I like
arcs.
the
Story
call.
arcs.
What was it?
Like, I'm pretty
Story
sure
arcs.
that
Right.
we either said story arcs or like hybrid one shots. That's it. We can't say that they're
Story arcs.
story arcs. Yeah, that's it. No, we're calling it story arcs, and that's it.
They're story arcs.
Yeah. By the way, guys, those
Was
of
there
you,
anything else we needed to get into?
I just want to address because JP, you know this guy, right? Jake Doom.
Yeah, I'm talking to him.
All right, cool. Okay, no, because I'm a bit concerned. I don't want to discourage the guy, but at the same time, like, I think we're standing on a no with this.
What is happening in the chat is going to be hard for me to
he's
follow.
Because
kind.
he really wants to change groups, and apparently Firelion said that he's okay with it. But again, there are multiple.
If I could just say something about that,
Mhm.
guys. Of course, I kind of get why you might want to change groups, be with your friends, or I'm not sure exactly why you want to in particular, Jake Doom. But of course, you might want to be with your friends and such. However, there is the caveat here that we have actually already begun to integrate your backstories into our story arcs, and your characters have already come alive within the story that we've created. And yeah, I guess on the one hand, you'd like to be with your friends, but sort of think of this as a new experience. I myself actually have 3 people within my groups who are actually part of my normal D&D games. We had actually tried very, very hard to not have this happen where we have the same players, of course, because we want to meet new players and have new experiences as well. However, the way things sort of worked and the way we were assigning dates, this is kind of the way it ended up. And that's completely fine, but take this as an experience where you're going to meet new people and try out new things. And keep in mind, your characters have already been integrated into the stories in very exciting ways. We have already made quite a few ties between your own backstories, so your different characters are linking with other player characters. So come along for the ride. I'm sure you guys are going to have a fantastic time.
We're gonna try and make sure that everyone has a good time in every different group. For the most part, is that, as Paul said, we have integrated your backstories into each of our own separate storylines. That means that we're essentially trying to cater to you and give you a good experience to it. Now, we're gonna try and do the best we can.
The
However,
art on the logos, by the way, is done because someone just mentioned that in the chat, and I just want to credit him.
yes,
The lovely coats of arms, guys, those are all Daniel's work, and yeah, they are fantastic.
look at that dude.
Trying to find the right combination was like, kill me now. So for the last four, especially, it's like, what can we do? And like, but thanks for the compliment, guys. It's the thing is a lot of you guys don't even know that as PlayUp, we have spent roughly about 50 plus euros to get access to certain materials, certain software to be able to present this to you. So this is why we have sponsors involved. So whenever, I'm just going to go over the sponsors again really quickly. So whenever you guys purchase from these guys using the discount codes that are given to us, you're actually helping us as well, not only them, because through them, basically, we're getting a form of a commission. So do feel free to support us this way, so that way you get something in return. So even you're buying something you want, right? Something you need, perhaps, in your hobby, especially when it comes to RPGing, in this case. So when you're doing that, you're helping us as well as PlayUp, as in you're helping us as PlayUp grow. There's obviously, if you want to help us directly, you don't need any of this. There is obviously Patreon, which you can go ahead and for as little as I think like €3 a month, you guys will be helping us out. It's nothing obligatory. We're doing this mostly for fun at this point due to the pandemic. In fact, everything's done online. I think we need to specify. And I think there was actually
everything's gonna be online.
All of this is online, guys.
All of
Yes.
this is gonna be done
least,
on Discord.
At least until everything's back to normal.
I mean, we do have a little bit of a small hope that one day we'll be doing this IRL, but let's
I don't want to
like,
promise anything because I don't know how the
Exactly.
turn is going to turn this year is going to turn out. However,
of course.
if according to specialists, and I use that loosely, if they're right that by August we should be somewhat back to normal, and people probably are laughing, say, "Huh, yes, August, sure." Well, we're hoping. I mean, PlayUp will go back to live events. So
that includes board game nights,
board game nights,
even
Magic
D&D
the
nights.
Gathering, D&D, all of it. So
Yeah.
we go back to finally when that happens, it will be in real life situations where we can have fun, meet our friends, have a drink, and play our favorite games.
And who knows? Maybe we might even go further beyond. Who knows?
I love how one of the guys in the chat is like, man, in real life it will turn wild. Can you imagine you guys make friends over this? And I'm pretty sure this is the whole purpose of PlayUp, to get people together, like especially the sessions that you guys are gonna have with your groups, and then we have an in real life session, and you guys like, oh my god, that's you, it's like, oh my god, like remember that, like what were you trying to do? Boom, just amazing.
Did we mention any sort of timeline? We haven't said anything about
So
that.
we're doing this. Okay, so let's explain something that is already out there. especially in our Discord. These are going to be done once a
Over there
month.
we mentioned.
In the case of Paul, you're doing it twice a month with two different groups. Podcasts and all the recordings will be published within that same month, so a day or two later, it's available to the public to listen. Um, we we do have a timeline. I'm saying probably just before summer starts, we should kind of get into a conclusion. I think as dungeon masters, correct me if I'm wrong, JP or Paul. We said like we're gonna have like four main like
I'm gonna have 4 main groups
no
with
no no
Paul
no
leading 2 of them.
four main stories each, so to speak, that link us
Yes,
to the thing, and then we have the final one, so 5 sessions in total that basically connects all of this together.
more or less. Yes.
More or less.
Cool. All right. I don't know if there's anything else people want to ask. This is the Q&A part. Guys, go ahead. This is your moment. In the meantime, Paul, you want to add in something?
Yes. So basically, we are of course planning to run a session 0, guys. Session 0 will be about halfway through. Now, what session 0 is it's not a part of the story, the game itself. It is. I'm obviously explaining for perhaps newer players. Session 0 is when we meet up as a group, again, of course, online, and we go over some of the ground rules, what is expected from the DM side. The DM also listens to what the players hope to achieve and what they expect as well from the sessions themselves. Even go over perhaps some of the intricacies in this case when it comes to the factions and what the factions entail for the group, that sort of thing. That will be midway through February, and we'll be having session 1 at the end of February.
In relation, okay, so people are starting to pop in a question. I think first question was
Yeah.
from Captain Gecko.
I already answered it on the chat itself.
Okay, cool. So
But
pets,
essentially,
yes. As long
yeah.
as I mean,
As long as you have the spell, or if you're a class that has a pet, sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
Obvi-
take the find familiar spell,
yeah.
whoever wants pet.
Obviously, don't go as far as saying you want to have a dragon as a pet. Like, come on, be a bit realistic. I know we're playing an RPG, but you know,
I remember giving him
I
a
mean,
squirrel in my
the
session way back in the day.
squirrel.
the
I love that.
creatures you can summon from Find Familiar are listed in the spell itself.
Exactly.
12 different creatures that you
Yeah.
can summon, if I remember correctly.
So are you guys going to do more streams, and if so, will are we going to be in them? So Sir Poro 94. Um, we do intend to actually get you guys, yes, on a live stream and give us, we start talking a bit generally about how you're feeling in the sessions, go over them a bit, um, general stuff. So I think, yes, we are considering getting you guys involved as players into these live streams at some point later on.
Yeah, exactly. As I said prior, before even our idea is to have these sessions recorded and then put on streaming websites, not streaming websites, playback websites like YouTube or even Spotify. For that to happen, are either going to record them or we're just going to straight up simply stream them. However, obviously, before we even decide to stream them, we're going to be asking you if you're okay with the idea. I know that there's some people that are not okay with being streamed online.
Well,
So
they did. Hold on, let me just interrupt you there.
Mhm.
According to, let me just make reference to the paper they filled in, right, online.
Mhm.
The last question was
Are you okay with
keeping in mind that
recording?
these sessions are recorded and published for PlayUp's upcoming podcasts. We need your consent. So it's a yes or
Exactly.
no, or I'm under 18, need parents'
Like
permission. Everyone who answered to these said yes. So
obviously these sessions are going to be recorded. If they're going to be streamed, it depends on both parties, the DMs and the players. Me personally, I'm going to try and have them streamed. I'm going to say it like that. If we're going to need assistance, we're going to ask some of the players. I know that at least 2 people within the groups themselves are streamers. You guys know who you are, you cocky bastards.
So something that Firelion said earlier, I think before the question was prompted, is it wasn't a question, it was kind of a statement that he said, listen, like it took 10 sessions and we're still stuck in the same rut hole. Jay, actually, I want Paul to take this one. How are we going to deal with those situations?
We railroad you like terrible DMs. Not really.
We want you guys to move along the story as much as possible. First and foremost, let me just jump in before you take this over. I know I'm kind of possible to you, but I just want to say this. I personally, and I think I suggested this to both DMs above me, we are going to avoid at all costs the whole awkwardness. Oh, you guys are in a tavern, you don't really know each other, and there's this mysterious guy in the corner. No, we're not going to go there. This is why there's the factions and guilds. It's like, listen, you kind of know each other through this. You're sent here for a purpose, and then we're going to say why it matters to you guys because of your
Exactly.
backstories. Paul, you can take it
Exactly.
away.
Oh no, all I was going to say is we are working on both player agency and group agency, and we hope that what we're working on will give you the initiative and incentive to want to leave the tavern possibly after 3 or 4 sessions. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Also, of course, JP has quite a lot of experience DMing. Don has years and years more than myself and JP combined in terms of DMing. And I'm pretty decent at it too. So I don't think that should be an issue. I mean, we all know how to tell a story. So I don't think that's too much of an issue. I don't think you should worry too much about that. I don't know if the person asking was
I still envy Group One, by the way. I envy Group One big time because of how their story starts off and what they all have in common. And
Oh right, yes, that one. That one's going to
I'm not
be
gonna
fun.
spoil anything.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Don't you
I know that one.
dare.
I
I
know
worked
which.
so hard on
Okay,
that.
okay.
We're so envious of that group because like
It's going to
amazing.
be fun. It's going to
It
be
is
fun.
really taking another level of role playing. I'm not gonna say anything more. It's just I'm so excited for just to kind of sit in that session, go like, oh, okay, that's cool, you know. Is there gonna be
Oh dear, they're all
unicorns?
bugbear artificers. Wait, actually, if I could, actually, I'm not sure off the top of my head, off the top of my head, who exactly has this particular combination. And I'm not going to go and find out because I don't want to give out the name because this is this person's business if and when they decide to reveal it. But to the person who decided to play a bugbear artificer, why? I've been racking my head around it ever since you sent that in, and I would appreciate a private message explaining why. Please, please tell me why. I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong. Tell me why. I need
Yeah.
to know why.
Okay.
Okay?
He's so serious. Oh my god, no.
I need to know why you picked a bugbear artificer. Okay? And I say this because we had another bugbear artificer who then decided to change. So it
Thank you.
wasn't one, it was two. And I need
Let's
to
not.
know why.
Let's also keep in mind that we have like what, 3 Thiefling Warlocks, like Hexblade Thiefling Warlocks.
Oh, that's fine.
3.
Tieflings are
No,
reasonable
those
enough.
we can handle.
It's a
Come
thing.
on. I mean, you cater the game
It's a thing.
accordingly.
It's a thing.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yes, we do. In Firelion, yes, we do have your. Everyone's. Listen, at the end of the day, we're not just 3 guys messing about saying, yes, small. I just feel like doing a session, whatever, you know, puff, puff, and get along, and like, ah, yes, and then most explicit content that we cannot say online is going to happen. You know, no, we're going to be like, listen, You are part of a story. You're going to make history. You know, this is going to go down in your brain as if you lived it. This is our intention as three dungeon masters.
Sure.
We want you
We
to,
want to make a cool story.
at the end of the session, we want everyone to go sit back and go like, I've been touched in my soul.
And this
You
was
know?
tender.
That was ten. Yes, Paul has. I told you, Paul has a way to, tenderly introduce new players.
There is so much context needed.
So we're just having fun at this time. I mean, we've been through the backstory, well, the
We have
overarching
been
world.
working on this for a very long time now.
1 month, and we still have a few weeks to go before we are going to introduce session zero. I can't even speak anymore. Session zero to our players. Then we have officially session one, where they begin the adventure, and then it moves all from there. But I mean, you heard Paul.
In terms of the private chats, Don, you're going to do magic things in the Discord, right? So that we have private chats, like maybe call them group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4 or something. We can do that in Discord, right?
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Of course. It's going to take a lot of work, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there's also Tornax, one of the administrators, who can help out with that. Because, I mean, when Discord started out for PlayUp, I remember approaching him saying, listen, I really have this idea. I don't know how to do it. I need your help. You know, it's like... But yes, Discord is what it is thanks to the
Cornex
community.
has been amazing. He's been really supportive.
It's all about the community, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for helping out. Actually, Tornex is here. It's Tornex written backwards.
Is he watching right now? Hey,
Yeah.
dude.
Hi, cuz. So, guys, that's what we're all about here. It's all about the community at this point, especially during this pandemic. So let's keep this going. I'm really happy with the Dungeons and Dragons community. The RPG community is so amazing. I was really surprised when I kind of initiated the idea about what I wanted to run. I did not expect the feedback and to want to play so much.
It exploded. Like the feedback that we
Not
got
only-
from this was just.
I was really surprised it
incredible.
exploded first and foremost because I was trying to deal with the MTG community here and it is really slacking and dragging its feet. But the fact that we were doing changes and there was that 1 week where it's like, listen guys, we're sorry, but character sheets redo or revise, and everyone was like, sure, no problem, we can do this. Then I was like, whoa, okay, what a positive community. I was like, I was really... And let's
Hey, you
keep
guys
it
have been
going.
amazing.
You guys have been really amazing, and thank you for making this so much easier on us as PlayUp, as Dungeon Masters, as everything. So I guess we can, unless anyone has.
Should we leave the floor open for 5 minutes or something in
Yeah,
case people want to ask questions?
Yes, guys, direct questions as much as you can because we're about to conclude.
Vixen just said hello to both Dom and Paul. Hello.
I don't know a Vixen. Do I know a Vixen?
It's Kim.
Hey, Kim!
Oh, hey!
Hello from the PlayUp team. That being said, I don't think there's any more questions. I don't see any more questions in the chat. Someone asked Larleo98. He asked, "Am I that unoriginal?"
Someone asked if there was unicorns. Don't
Are
tempt
you
me.
the bugbear artificer, Larion? What's his name, Larion? Are you the bugbear artificer? You owe me a private message. Explain to me why. Tell me why. I must know why. Please.
Oh my god, you're in this. I don't know what to say about that one.
Need to know why, okay?
It's not him. It's not him, or her.
No,
It's
it's
not
not.
him.
I think there was a
well,
him or her.
I will find you, bugbear artificer, and I will get answers.
Specifically, a bugbear artificer.
Yes.
Captain Gecko,
Why?
just really quickly, definitely PlayUp would love or us as Dungeon Masters would love to be on your podcast, just send us an invite with a date and a time, and we'll be more than happy to collaborate there. In relation to, there was a guy who said, "Are you gonna have unicorns?" You know what?
No.
If you guys have never met a unicorn during a D&D session, I will make it happen. But trust you me, I've read about unicorns in D&D. They are not the nicest of creatures.
Right? Right? They're dicks.
It's the same with mermaids.
Unicorns
They're called
aren't that original, guys. Unicorns are just horses that come to a point. Okay? It's
literally
nothing special.
right through.
Paul! Paul!
I'm just saying. They're horses that come to a point.
Holy shit!
The point. It's a point.
Oh
That
my
is the
god,
definition
no!
of a unicorn.
That is very true. Rexter just said something. Nightmares are more friendly than unicorns. That is so true.
Yeah,
So true.
that is
Nightmares are awesome.
crazy. Yeah. Plus, they look cooler. Let's be honest.
You want horse that comes to a point, or do you want horse that's on fire? I would go with the horse that's on fire.
Definitely.
I'm
don't
just
like
gonna go with.
horses,
I'm
so
just
I'm
gonna go with
probably-
yes.
Unicorns are a pain, literally, once they go right through you.
Father, I crave cheddar.
Until they use their charge ability, then they're not so fun.
Thank you, Uziel, for your complete support. I'm really sorry that you are, well, have kind of come in late for all this, that you can't be part of it. But feel free to join in the adventures in our post-productions for sure. They're going to be amazing. I know you love to listen and see all of PlayUp's and my personal post-production. So feel free to see the content there. Max, thank you for Rexer. Thanks for offering to be a dungeon master. At this point, things are very much set in stone. I think we have everything in hand. Enjoy being a player for once, I guess. Yes, Captain Gecko, I think I answered this. You are allowed to stream it. I will contact you in relation to what we want in that case. If you do stream it, it's a simple logo, really and truly, that you're, and the link to our Facebook page or whatever. So we will discuss it further. How will we tackle dice rolling? Guys, that's a very, very good question. Well, I'm trying to figure out how Roll20 really works. I've been swearing at it for 2 days. It is not
the dice roll in Roll20, I believe, is just /R, and you type in the dice like D20.
There you go. So we're using Roll20. You can use applications that I don't know, something that you can prove that you're not rigging the dice in any other way. So basically, something that we can visually see you do live.
Not that we believe any player would ever rig a dice. Ever.
No, the players are wholesome individuals. Why would they ever?
But Roll20 is probably going to be the option anyway, guys.
Probably, yes.
Dice rolling is really easy in Roll20.
So let's clarify. This is a very good question because we did not cover it. We will be using Discord as our main line of chat for the main reason that it's easier to record it from. And also Roll20 might be our preferred source for maps, rolling dice, and so forth. You might ask, why not use the inbuilt microphones of Roll20 or whatever that Roll20 provides for communication, voice communication specific. The reason being is, I don't know if you guys ever heard Roll20's voice things when it comes to podcasts afterwards. If you don't have the right equipment, sometimes it can come off really bad. I know Discord is not the best place sometimes for chatting. Sometimes the server goes funky wonky, just to use a funny word there. But it is, yes, and I know there's dice bots in Discord. I actually have to get Tornex to remind me how that is used, just and kind of paste it somewhere in a document and say, okay, guys, this is how these are done. But that is for later. Okay. Awesome was worried about dice fudging. No, you don't have to invest in dice if you don't have dice. Don't worry about that. It would be cool to have your own set, by the way. Just saying. I have years experience.
Okay. One thing, actually, seeing as we're mentioning Roll20, I don't believe any of the players have sent you yet. Most of the players haven't sent you a picture of their character yet, right, Don?
I mean, they haven't even done to me the mine. I need to talk to them specifically.
So basically, we are going to need a picture of your character. Of course, this can just be something you get off Google or something. We know no one here is an artist. You can just get a small picture. This is exclusively just so that for the people who play Roll20, you already know what I'm referring to. For the people who don't, Roll20 is a grid-based map. And what you do is you have your little tokens that represent the players. So that picture that you're going to send us, that's basically going to be used in order to represent your character if we happen to be doing a little fight or something and we want to chuck it onto a battle map instead of doing Theater of the Mind. That's it. So find something that's sort of similar to your character, something that looks cool, and send it to us. Remember, it's going to be like this small, so don't worry too much if it's low definition or something. Doesn't really matter because it'll show up just fine on Roll20, okay?
Cool. I think we covered. I think we covered everything at this point. I
Yeah.
don't think anyone. I think the best question was that one. How are we rolling dice? Because I think, and that kind of opened
Yeah,
up
I don't
a
think we actually
door.
have.
That opened the door because it was kind of like something we wanted to tell the players, but is keep escaping. We have so many things on our heads right now. It's like, how does this relate to the backstories? And then this character's backstory and that character's backstory, kind of like, oh, they should have met, but they didn't. But they know this person together, and it's just like, and then all of a sudden it's like, the most simplest of things. How are we gonna roll dice, guys? Right, we forgot to tell them about that thing. All right, guys.
Oh wait, we're just talking yeah, I think we have everything set. Yeah, come to the first session.
That's something that we forgot
Wait,
to ask
how
the
are we
players.
gonna roll the dice? I'm like, oh, that's what we forgot.
Yeah. Something we asked players: does everyone have a microphone? I think actually, guys, if you just install Discord on your phone, right, and use that, it would be enough to kind of join
That
in.
should be fine.
Yeah.
So there shouldn't be a
Nick-
problem.
You don't have to show your faces, but of course it would be nice if you did.
Exactly. And please, I can just your voices. Make sure that we can hear them, because they're gonna be needed. And if we misinterpret something and then it's set into stone, oh no!
Yeah, but these are things that you kind of,
Yeah.
we work along. It's like, just to be sure, can you just repeat that one more time? Is this what you said? Just to be sure. And don't, we're not doing it to scare you guys.
Just-
Kind
yeah.
of say like, listen, are you sure you want to do that? We're not gonna even give. I don't know about Paul. I think Paul does that. One time he did it for sure. You mentioned this to me, where you go like, are you sure you want to do that? And then players. Are
Oh
just
no
like,
no no no!
no."
I have done that before as well. Like, you don't even need you need to ask. I have done that before when I know my players are about to do something stupid. Like, are you sure? Specifically that action? They just say yeah, of course. Like, okay, just roll the dice. Obviously the odds are against them and they just die. Oh well.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna head into conclusion. We've been on air for an hour and 10 minutes. This is Don Chat from
Wow.
PlayUp. Yes, this has been a long time. We have Paul. We have JP, the Wanderer. By the way, on his Discord, you can't read his name. Sometimes people
Apparently, it's not readable due to the
it's
fonts.
not legible
You
due to
need to
fonts.
change that name.
I refuse!
To a normal
I refuse! Yeah.
We would like to thank our two main sponsors for this, Warmonger Games Malta. Visit their website and go through their merchandise. If you do happen to go past anything which is RPG related, so being Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, and so on, if it's not already discounted from the store, you can use the PlayUp 10% discount code, which is PULDN. PULDN 7401. Just write it down, guys, and use it when you're purchasing. This will help PlayUp as well. Don't forget the terms and conditions. This only works on products with a total basket of 30 plus. Don't worry about it too much because most of the products are 30 plus. Only used locally, expires on the 7th of February. There's also the Miniature Corner on Facebook. These guys are giving us a 10% discount code using PlayUp, all in lowercase 21, no spaces, just altogether PlayUp 21 for any of their products. When you're purchasing and basically you're messaging them saying, listen, I want this product in specific. I listened to the show and here's a code, and you get a 10% off. Doing this will help us dearly. Last but not least, you can support us by our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/playupmt. So go ahead and support us with a smallest fee of €3 per month and become a Patreon and support us work. We put a lot of time into this, and it would be really nice to be appreciated that way. However, we're not doing this for financial reasons. We're doing this mostly to have fun. So that being said, go ahead, like our Facebook page, Instagram, Discord is the channel where you can get and communicate directly with us. We will be uploading on our Spotify soon and also on YouTube, so you can find us there as well. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thanks for communicating through our live stream tonight. And we're looking forward for session 0 in the new world of PlayUp Legends. Good night.